are live. This is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Lifting the Trophy with your host, Connor Nasswell, where we're talking everything New York sports and then the Devils, because they're obviously in New Jersey. Had a busy week of sports, you know. There's a lot to talk about. I also have a few topics I definitely want to bring up. I want you guys to call in and talk to me about them, about adding more sports teams to New Jersey. Things like, would you abandon your normal team if they added Jersey teams? And also the ball strike challenge system being added in baseball. All the stuff going on with football and the playoffs right now. Dougie Hamilton possibly getting traded for the Devils. And my thoughts on what the Yankees should do with Cody Bellinger. We're going to get on to that. I have the show today 5 to 7. It's going to be great. If you would like to call in, the call-in number is 973-655-4256. One more time is 973-655-4256. All right. Hopping right into it. We're going to start off with the Redbulls. The Redbulls, obviously, with the new coach, Michael Bradley, coming in. There was a press conference last week. It was a press conference actually last Monday, and I was listening to it as I was driving up here to start the show. But I kind of wanted to gather my thoughts about it throughout the week and give you guys a more thought-out response to all the stuff he was saying, because I didn't want to act on impulse. You know, in the moment I was like, yeah, we're going to win everything. We're going to be the new MLS champions in the moment, because I was feeling pumped. You know, my new coach is just talking. You know, soccer's coming back. I'm excited about it. But after thinking about it, I like Michael Bradley. Shocker, I know. But I really, I'm subscribing to the things he's saying. You know, he's bringing back that energy drink soccer, like we saw with Troy Lesesne. Obviously, that was a coach before Sandro Schwartz. And I like the stuff that Michael Bradley was talking about. He's talking about a much younger roster. You know, having a lot of the kids from MLS2 being brought up, signing a lot of young guys from around the world. Because, you know, with De Guzman right now, he's looking a lot outside of MLS to a lot of European leagues. Like Che is coming from, I forgot what the team was, some Spanish team. Voloderes came from Sporting KC. But then you have like Cade Cowell coming from the Prem. You know, not the Prem. Oh my gosh, what am I talking about? But he's coming from external leagues outside of MLS, and I feel like that's huge if we want to grow the team. You know, especially on a national level, get our name out there more, get more respect put on the name. You know, we kind of need to start getting more of a reputation, and you know, you have to start somewhere. You know, because if you think about it, the more relationships you have with coaches and managers outside of MLS or even within MLS, the better odds you have with making deals with them. You know, I mean, there's obviously Rebels is not the biggest team in MLS by any stretch. That's probably like Inter Miami, big name. Philly, big name. Obviously, just winning the MLS Cup last year. LA FC, you know, big name there because they just have a lot of fans, a lot of viewership. Good teams too, consistent teams. The Rapids were really good too. I thought the Colorado Rapids are gonna, they're up and coming. They might have a really good shot at winning the MLS Cup next year. But I really think starting to get our name out there and starting to get connections built and trade lines built with other managers outside of MLS is really important. Because listen, MLS is the Premier League retirement home. You know what I mean? You have all these old dudes coming over from the Prem or from like La Liga, you know, coming over from like Champions League. You know, look at Messi. He's old. He's going to retire in MLS. He's not going anywhere after MLS. Like, this is his destination. He's done after this. Suarez, same thing with him. Forsberg, Choupo-Moting. I mean, you have all these players that are coming from big teams. Obviously, Emil Forsberg coming from Red Bull Leipzig. Choupo-Moting coming from Bayern Munich. You know, great team. They're gonna end here. They're gonna end with the Red Bulls. These players are gonna end in MLS, and I feel like getting those trade lines established. You know, getting good relationships is just such an important thing that I think and not enough people are talking about, really. You know, because like think about it. You're not going to want to trade with some guy who you've been beefing with for the past, 3 or 4 years, And I feel like that's why de Guzman's a great head of sport. And Jürgen Schneider, a lot of connections, big name. Same with Michael Bradley, too, when you really think about it. He capped for Toronto, Canada National, U.S. men's team. Sorry, he played for Toronto. He capped a whole bunch of games for U.S. men's team. So obviously a lot of connections through that. His dad, obviously, big time coach, one of the greatest developmental coaches in the MLS. That was in the MLS. Coaching the Red Bulls 2 team. He has a lot of connections with those younger guys, those up and coming stars. I mean, we already see Benedetti coming on the team, who I got the privilege to watch here at Montclair, because when I was touring schools, I didn't know Montclair, like Red Bulls 2 played at Montclair. So I toured Montclair. Montclair was always my top school, but I came here, I toured, and I saw the Red Bulls logo through a window. I'm like, excuse me, what's that? Are you guys like sponsored by Red Bull or something? Like, no, the Red Bulls 2 team plays here. And I'm like, done. I'll go. Yep, you sold me. That's it. That's all I need. Like, I'm pretty easy to please. Is have my favorite soccer team here. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty easy yes, But I saw Benedetti playing here. Great player, super mature on the pitch. He doesn't get flustered. He's kind of like Mini Brunson on the Knicks right now. Tyler Kolek doesn't get flustered. Who we'll get to a little bit later on. Benedetti I really like. Andy Rojas. If you guys watch Ted Lasso, you guys will get that reference. But yeah, I really like Andy Rojas. I think he played great. I think he's going to be definitely an addition to the first team soon. Rold Mitchell, who actually, my family lives in Montclair, or used to live in Montclair. And 1 year for Christmas, we went to church with them, and Rold Mitchell actually lit my candle in church, which is like, small world, you know what I mean? So now I think of us as best friends, obviously, as one would do. But yeah, I think he's going to be great. Obviously, with that injury last season, 2 seasons ago, because he was signed to the first team for a little while. He got a few minutes, nothing major. Didn't have any major impacts, really. But he obviously had that bad knee injury, which took him a while to recover from. But I'm glad to see him back. He really lit it up with Red Bulls, too. He really did. In the championship, I think he had a goal or two, I think. I don't really remember exactly who scored what in the championship game for MLS 2 Next Pro Cup, whatever you want to call it. But I'm excited for this upcoming season, And I feel like the Red Bull, this is probably one of the most important seasons for the Red Bulls. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably going to be one of the most important seasons for the Red Bulls. Because we have the World Cup coming in. Obviously, in the middle of the MLS season, we're going to have that huge break for MLS Cup. For World Cup, not MLS Cup. And I think the amount of attention that's going to be brought here in America to soccer, people are going to start looking for teams to support. They're going to see all the hype around soccer. They're going to be watching, obviously, USA play in the World Cup because it only comes around every 4 years, so it's a pretty big deal. I like to think that soccer definitely gets a boost in viewership and awareness when the World Cup comes around, because who doesn't want to see their team play or their country play? It's a pride thing. It's a pride thing, So I think with that being said, the Red Bulls have to have a standout season this year. We have to make waves. Big signings. We need one more big signing. We've had a bunch of mediocre players coming in. Like, the players we've picked up have been okay. The players we've been getting rid of have been great. Like, not that the move was great. They played great here. So I don't know why we were getting rid of most of them. I think it's pretty dumb with some of the releases. Like, we just released Daniel Edelman. Of course we did. He's like one of my favorite players. I love Daniel Edelman. And I was finally going to see him and Cameron Harbaugh back running the midfield together. It would be great. Like, Daniel Edelman is such a powerful player. And, like, the thing, he doesn't score many goals. He doesn't get many assists. But what he does is he clogs up the midfield, and he creates turnovers so well. And he would have fit the style of play that we're looking to do next season perfectly, because he's a genetic freak. He's so fast, and he works. He's so, like, committed to winning balls and challenges. And granted, he does foul quite often, and he gets carded most games. But I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay with that because most of the time he's making clean tackles. Granted, every once in a while, it's like, yeah, it's pretty flagrant. Like, all right, you're sliding from behind and you're taking out his leg. So, yeah, I could see how that could, be a foul, obviously. But I love his passion. I love his grit, his determination on the field. And I feel like it shows so well. Like, it really does show on the pitch, and I don't think getting rid of him was a smart choice. But, like, yeah, we make some money off it. We make some GAM. GAM, is, for everyone who doesn't know, is essentially like you kind of have a salary cap, like how much you can spend on players. But GAM is like essentially extra money you can use on players. So, like, say I reach my cap of salary, but I have like $1 million in GAM. I could sign another player, or I don't know, another. You could pay someone more, essentially, because it's essentially extra money. Think of it as like an extra credit, like a little cherry on top for someone who wants to come and join the Redbulls. We can give you this guaranteed, and then we can give you this much GAM too, which is definitely big. It's nice when everyone wants to get a positive trade when they're moving players around. Obviously, we want to get rid of Wiki Carmona, please. Like, I don't know why we haven't gotten rid of him yet. Well, probably because nobody wants him, But, like, an ideal trade for me, get rid of Wiki Carmona, bring in another attacking midfielder. Boom. That's a good trade for me. We've been making a lot of moves recently. I don't really agree with all of them. I don't think that they're necessarily the right moves, I don't think that some of the players are bringing in or some of the players are letting go are necessary at all. Like, why do we let Sean Nealis go? He's a veteran. He should have started and finished as a Red Bull. I feel like he embodied the team's personality so well. He's very like in your face, like push you around, because this man was huge. He was like 6'3", built like a tank. You all know that picture of him like grabbing Wolf on NYCFC by the shirt. Like, yeah, what you gonna do, little bro? Huh? Because Wolf is like 5'8". He was like towering over him. It's like, why are we getting rid of him? He was a good defender. He had his moments, like he had his moments where, like in that one game, he just got completely just destroyed, and just dribbled around. In the Miami game, I mean, he got like megged, and they pulled him back, and he like fell down on his butt, and like he has moments like that. But most of the time, he's such a solid defender. I remember it was the game against DC United, I think. And there was like 4 or 5 breakaways. It was just him one-on-one with the defender, and he came up clutch and he stopped the breakaway. And it was like, it wasn't even anything super hard to do. It was just like being positionally sound and looking for an opening and then executing. And that comes from being a veteran in the league, seeing different kinds of players, seeing different styles of play, and just learning how to predict and read and push people around, essentially, So I don't know why we got rid of him. I mean, we re-signed Tim Parker, who I like. Tim Parker was in Portland for a little while, which I didn't like, but we brought him back. My dad's a huge Tim Parker fan. My dad loves Tim Parker. He's been a Tim Parker fan since like the 2018 playoff run, which like, yeah, he was amazing then. He's okay now. He's getting a little slower. He's getting a little older, but like Sean Nealis, he has that veteran mindset, especially with the team full of now young players who need leadership. I think him and Noah Ayla are going to have a really good defense. I think obviously Noah Ayla will be playing like a center, right center, left center defense. And then Tim Parker, I think, is usually right back. I think he might split the center with Noah Ayla. I think they're thinking about putting Che and Dylan Nealis on right back and left back, so they can kind of. My dad just texted me. He goes, "Damn right, Parker." Yeah, but I think that they might put Noah Ayla, oh my gosh, Dylan Nealis and Che on right back and left back, so they can join the attack, kind of how Kyle Duncan was, kind of his play style, which I really liked Kyle Duncan too. I thought he was great. I think did we trade him? I can't remember if we traded him or not. I think we did, because I didn't see him in the roster the other day. Also, with Daniel Edelman, I don't think anything's been officially confirmed yet, Because, like, I've seen posts on Instagram about rumors, but I was looking at the Red Bulls website today, and I didn't see anything official, which I'm not complaining about at all. I'm not complaining at all about that. I would love it if we kept Daniel Edelman, obviously, as I was just talking about. But yeah, moving on from the Red Bulls, who was I with? I think I was with my sweet mate Aldair. And we were talking, or no, I was talking with my brother. Another point I'll bring up later about, I was talking with my friend Aldair about. I was talking with my little brother about, offsides and having more technology to assist on offsides. Offsides, I feel like, has grown, like, being called substantially in the past 2 to 3 years. I feel like offsides has played so much of a bigger factor in games because we've gotten so much more technology now, and teams are becoming smarter with drawing teams offside. The new rules, obviously, too, with, like, if an arm or a knee or a shoulder is considered offsides too, and, like, getting involved in a play or not involved in a play, because there's a lot of rules implemented in the past few years with offsides. I think something that could happen if there's, like, maybe a band or something, like, on a jersey on your shoulder, and then, like, on your knee or, like, the bottom of a short, like, of your shorts or something. And I feel like if there's, like, a chip on that could show, like, literal centimeters, like, to the exact inch where you are in comparison to the players around you, I feel like that could really help. That could fix it. I mean, obviously you got to think, like, it'll be moving around too, because these aren't skin tight clothing, nor should they be. I don't think it should be skin tight, because you got to be able to move. You got to, like, people are sliding, you don't want, like, their shorts, like, riding up their leg and whatnot. It'll just be uncomfortable to play with. But I don't know, maybe they were, like, something underneath their shorts, like something skin tight underneath their shorts and their shirts. That might stink when it's really hot out, but I mean, I think that's something that MLS could think about, something like that. Also, too, with assistant referees, I don't understand why they don't have, like, a body camera. I think that, like, I was talking to my brother, and I was like, yeah, if they wear a body camera, like a really tight body camera, so it's not jiggling around and whatnot, that's, like, streaming to a server so we could review the plays. And he was saying, like, why would they need it? Like, we don't usually, sometimes I'm not in the best angle. I'm like, yeah, but, like, the more angles, the better. Like, think about it. We only, like, the angle in the goal, like, the goal cameras, they're only used maybe once or twice a game, if that, to show replays, but we still have them. Like, and these teams got loads of, like, teams have so much money. They'll be fine. They can afford it. And honestly, it'll probably be paid by the referee, like, association, So I feel like having assistant referees with body cameras, and at this point, might as well put it on the center referee, too, because he's up close, he's personal with all these players. He's usually has the best, he should have the best angle on plays. A good referee's positionally sound. I should know this as a referee. Center referee, too. Granted, I referee rec soccer, but still, I like to think I know a pretty good amount about the rules of soccer. I think implementing that could be really helpful, especially if that's, like, streamed to a server and then, like, we could see in replays. I feel like that also kind of, in a weird way, I feel like fans don't think of the refs as humans sometimes. I feel like fans kind of see the refs as, like, a figure, and they stand for something rather than this is a human being and they make mistakes, because they do. All referees make mistakes. So I feel like if we have a camera, like a body camera on these referees, we can kind of see their point of view and be like, okay, I see how he could have made this call, or I see how he could have went this way on a decision, And I feel like as fans, that'll help a lot too, because, I love to blame the referee as much as the next guy, and sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're definitely wrong, and they just blatantly mess up. We'll get to that a little bit later with NFL too, but I think most of the time they're right, and I think most of the time they have the best views. They have the feel of the game too. Like, that's a big factor that people don't understand. It's a lot about how you want the game to run, how you want the game to feel. Do you want to let them play physical? Do you want to call it super tight? Like, if it's an MLS Cup game or a playoff game, yeah, you're gonna call it a lot tighter than, like, a derby game or a rivalry match. like NYCFC against Redbulls. You're gonna let a lot more physicality go because that's just the fans want to see that. It adds to the intensity of the game, and I personally love seeing physicality in soccer. In hockey too. Oh, which the Devils lack a lot of right now. Which again, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, if you guys have any opinions on that, any views on what I just went over, feel free to call in. Talk to me about it. I want to see what you guys have to say. Phone number to call in is 973-655-4256. One more time, 973-655-4256. Or you can go in the chat. I'm live right now on Instagram if you would like. You could leave a comment in there and I'll be able to read it. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick little break, only a minute or two, because I gotta take get a drink of water and get my next segment set up, because I have a really important segment talking about how more teams should be a part of New Jersey. Stay tuned. This is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And we are back. This is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Lifting the Trophy with your host Connor Aspo. If you guys oh my gosh, English. If you guys would like to call in, the phone number is 973-655-4256. So yeah, I mentioned before the break that I have a topic that I've been thinking a lot about for the past week or so, because I've been getting a lot more invested in the Devils. I really like hockey. I think hockey's the best sport to watch. You have physicality, you have high speed, low scoring. What other sport besides like boxing or MMA can you just fight people? Like, oh, you disrespected me? Yeah, let's drop them right now. Even though the Devils haven't been doing that hardly at all. I hope they do it on Wednesday. I'm going to see the game on Wednesday against the Seattle Kraken with my friends. So I hope we get to see a fight. The last game we went to, we saw a fight. With my friend, I brought my friend Brandon for the first time. He's like, I just want to see these guys punch each other. That's all I want to see. Because we got blown out. That was a Tampa Bay Lightning game where we lost 8-4. But he's like, I just want to see these guys fight. And like 10 minutes into it, Brendan Dillon dropped the gloves and he was like, yeah, I love hockey. And I'm like, all right, awesome, cool. So that was fun. But yeah. So something I've been thinking about is more teams to New Jersey. And obviously, there's 2 New York sports teams for every sport. Giants, Jets, Rangers. Hockey doesn't really count because we already have a Jersey team. Knicks, Nets. I guess technically the Nets are Brooklyn, but still New York. Yankees, Mets. What other sports am I forgetting about? NYCFC, Redbulls. So I never knew why. Why are there 2 New York sports teams? If you want to get technically there's 3 if you want to include Buffalo. I'm not going to include them in this specific scenario I'm bringing up. But, if you want to get technical, you could include them. So it could possibly be 3 New York sports teams. And I just don't understand why not have more sports teams for Jersey. Jersey's great. People in Jersey have so much pride. And it's a big sports area. It's big sports here. You have it's kind of split in 2. You have half of it being Philly fans and half of it being New York fans. Once you get to South Jersey, it's mostly Philly fans. And then Central to North Jersey is more New York fans. But I just I've never understood why 2 New York teams for every sport. I guess one could be worse than the other. So you could have rivalries with your neighbors. I just don't think it makes sense. Bring one of the teams to Jersey. That'll be a huge market, Granted, the Devils have been bad for quite a while, so the viewership is, I think, tanked a little. But all my friends are Devils fans. The one New Jersey team we have, all my friends are Devils fans. Because New Jersey is so prideful. I love Jersey so much. I am the biggest Jersey supporter out there, right? So I don't understand why we can't have our own sports teams. Because there's a lot more people out there like me who would love to have more sports, Jersey sports teams. And I was talking, this was what I was talking about with my sweet mate, Older. We were talking about, what city would be, like it would be Jersey would be represented by, and like he did bring up a good point. He's like, what city would they do? Would they do like Jersey City, Atlantic City, Newark, Trenton, like, and that kind of made me think for a little while. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like what town, what district, what city would we choose? And I think Jersey City would probably be the best bet. Obviously, we're not going to have stadiums down at Jersey City, or we could, for some of the teams. But I think Jersey City could be Jersey City. I don't know, dogs. Like I don't know, Jersey City casinos, Jersey City gamblers. And obviously Jersey City is not like the nicest area. There's nicer parts of Jersey, but when I think of like, kind of what town stands out in Jersey, I think Jersey City or Atlantic City. I don't think Atlantic City would do justice to representing Jersey though. Too many like tourists, not tourists, but like just like people there aren't real. I saw like people down there are just not real. Why can't the ones who play in New Jersey call themselves from Jersey? I don't get. I had a question in my live stream. I don't really get that question. But I think it would go over great. I think there'd be a lot of opportunity to then have the three metropolitan teams. You would have Philly, you would have New York, you'd have Jersey. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be new teams. You could take one of the New York teams. Like it could be, I don't know, the Jersey Jets. That would honestly make a lot of sense. Jersey Jets. Or think about the Nets would probably come back to Jersey, because if you guys didn't know, the Nets started off in Jersey and then moved to Brooklyn. God knows why. I think the Nets would definitely come back to Jersey between the Knicks and the Nets. I think the Mets also would come to Jersey, because the Yankees are just too New York. Like the Yankees are just, they will always be New York. They will always be New York. When it comes to hockey, obviously we have the Devils. And I think the Red Bulls would stay in Jersey, because we already technically play in Jersey. So do the Giants and the Jets. Playing East Rutherford. Red Bulls playing in Harrison. Both great stadiums, by the way. MetLife is kind of a dumpster. But it's got its ups and downs. Ups and downs. But another question I have for you guys that if you want to call in, by the way, and talk about this, 973-655-4256. If your team that you root for already, whether it be the Knicks, whether it be the Giants, whether it be the Red Bulls, if they move to Jersey, right, and you're rooting for another team, would you switch teams? And that I've lost sleep over, because I don't know. I'm such a loyal fan to my teams through thick and thin. I'm such a loyal fan, and I pride myself on being a loyal fan. But like, for example, if the Jets came to Jersey, I don't know if I would leave the Giants. Like, or if the Nets came back to Jersey, I don't know if I would leave the Knicks. Like, obviously, if one of the other, like, if a Jersey team in this hypothetical was in like a championship game, obviously I would root for them. But I don't know if I would change my fandom just because now they're Jersey. And listen, I love Jersey so much. I was just talking about this. I love Jersey. I love living in Jersey. I think it's the best state in the world. In the country. Yeah, actually, no, yeah, best place in the world. Best place in the world. But I don't know if I would leave my teams. I don't know if I would switch. And I feel like that's a question that's gonna take some time. Like, if these teams ended up coming to Jersey, I would have to sit in I'll have to like lock myself in a room for like 3 whole days and just drink water and like think, why? Like, would I do this? Would I leave my teams? I don't know, man. That's like such like for me, okay, I'm also like kind of crazy when it comes to my sports teams. Like I think I'm out of like all my friends, I think I'm probably like the biggest sports fans. Obviously, I have a sports radio show, so yeah. Also, social medias if you would like to follow is Lifting the Trophy, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you would like, you don't have to. If you would like, so I think I would definitely struggle with this more than my friends. I think some of my friends would jump ship instantly. Like, yeah, Jersey team, let's go root for them. And I would be stuck. Because, like, think about it this way, right? My new roommate, I got a new roommate, and I was talking to him the other day. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan, right? And I was like, what made you become a Dallas Cowboys fan? And he's like, oh, I originally lived around Dallas, and then he moved to Jersey. But he didn't change his fandom, And that, oh, damn, that's a good point. Good job, Connor. That's a really good point. Thank you, Connor. I feel like that's a prime example of, like, would you jump ship? Or are you staying loyal because that's where you grew up? Like, I know a lot of, like, a lot of people around here who are fans of teams who are far away or, like, on the West Coast or something. They're like, yeah, I grew up in Central to Western America. I just stuck with my team when I moved to Jersey, which I totally respect. I totally respect that. If I were to move to, like, I don't know, L.A. for, like, an acting job or, like, to get better acting gigs over there, I would stick with my New York teams. No doubt in my mind. I would not jump ship, especially become a Dodgers fan. No way I'm becoming a Dodgers fan. I would stick a fork in my eye rather than becoming a Dodgers fan. I can't say that. Yeah, I would do anything besides being a Dodgers fan for sure. Yeah, Cowboys. Yeah, no, boo Cowboys. Someone just said that in my chat. My girlfriend actually. Boo Cowboys. Even though, yeah, I'm doing. My dad just texted me. You're not moving to LA. You're right. I'm not moving to LA. But actually, I almost went to AMDA college. Then if I were to have went there for the BFA musical theater program, it would have been 2 semesters, 2 years in New York, 2 years in LA. So I would have gone to LA if I went to AMDA. But obviously, I went to Montclair. Don't go to AMDA. If you would like, I forgot I can't like do calls to action. But yeah, oh my gosh, what was I talking about? I totally forgot what else. Oh, jumping ship, right? Teams jumping ship. It's like, I think that's a prime example of people who just are loyal. But like, I don't know. Call in, tell me what you guys think. Go in the chat, tell me what you guys think. I'm willing to move back on this topic later on too. If I'm like talking about something else, and you guys want to call in and talk about this, that's totally cool too. Because I really want to know what people think about this. Is this something that's like really interesting to me? Like, if there were Jersey teams, or okay, let's say like a city that doesn't really have sports teams. We could say like freaking Rhode Island, right? If Rhode Island got a football team, if they got a football team, would you jump ship from wherever team you're supporting and support a Rhode Island team? Like anything. New Hampshire. Oh, actually, most of them are New England over there. But, yeah. That, I don't know. I'm going to have to keep thinking about that one. Maybe I'll post on my socials in like a few days after I've really done some deep diving about that. But I would, at the end of the day, I am all down for more New Jersey teams and teams going back to Jersey too. I think it'll just be a net positive ultimately. I think overall, I think it's just gonna be a great thing for the state. Because people hate on Jersey so much, but the people who hate on Jersey, they ain't from Jersey. They're not from Jersey, baby. They hate us because they can't beat us. I love Jersey. All right, we're moving on. Going to Devils. Devils. God, the bane of my existence right now. The Devils have caused me so much agony, pain, and suffering for the past, like, month. And yet I'm still going to watch the Hughes Bowl tonight. For you guys who don't know that, the Hughes brothers, 3 brothers, Luke Hughes, Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes. Luke Hughes and Jack Hughes play on the Devils. Quinn Hughes plays on the Minnesota Wild, and they're going against the Devils are going against the Minnesota Wild tonight. So, definitely watching the Devils lose tonight. That'll be great. Be a great time watching us lose tonight. Hopefully we win on Wednesday. I think the Kraken are good. I don't remember, but I think the Kraken are good. But I'm going to be kind of delusional for a second here. Last week, if you guys tuned in and listened, I talked about sitting Dougie Hamilton. I talked about moving Brett Pesce into his spot But ultimately, the topic was sit Dougie Hamilton. He's been messing up way too much recently. And you know what happened on Saturday night? They sat Dougie Hamilton. Still lost. But they sat Dougie Hamilton. And it worked. I didn't watch the full game. I only saw bits and pieces because the football games were on. And I think I was out that night or something. But from what I did see, I watched part of the game and I watched the highlights also. Ooh, voice crack. Sorry. I watched the highlights also. And I think the Devils played a lot better defensively. We gave up 4 goals, but I think 2 of them were just really good rebounds in front of the net, which, to be fair, I think Dougie Hamilton does control rebounds in front of the net better because he's just a bigger body than Kovacevic. We brought Kovacevic is back healthy again. He was injured for a long portion of the season, so he's back and taking Dougie Hamilton's spot on the first line, I'm pretty sure. Unless they're moving things around tonight. But he played in the first line on Saturday against the Jets. And Kovacevic played great. You know, typically coming back from injury, it takes you a few games to kind of get back into the flow. But, I mean, there's some players that are just built differently. They're just built to win and succeed. You know, that could just get right back into the flow of the game. And that's exactly what happened with Kovacevic. Granted, I think hockey's a little bit different because, you know, you're only on average, I think hockey players are all like on the ice for 45 seconds at a time. And, you know, they're constantly calling out different lines to go out and play. Because, you know, if you guys don't know how hockey works, there's like essentially, they're called lines, but it's a set of 5 players that go on the ice at a time, right? So like the first line, second line, third line, fourth line. Obviously, your first line gets the most minutes, typically gets the most minutes because they're usually your best players. And then like your fourth line is the people you kind of send out there when your team needs a little spark, you know, put like your big bodies on that team, you know, to go and just like slam people into walls and whatnot. So, yeah, Kovacevic got put on the first line. He played great. He really did play good, you know, and I was really impressed by how locked down he was. He's a great player. He's a really great player. And I think him and Jonas Siegenthaler, who's the other defenseman on the first line, worked really well together. I think him and Dougie Hamilton they weren't clicking on, you know, they didn't have the chemistry in some points, you know. They didn't have the chemistry sometimes, so that definitely hindered the plus minus for the team a little bit. I mean, Dougie Hamilton was -7. That's bad, dude. That's really bad. He only has 10 points in 40 games. He used to be a powerhouse in the O-zone. He used to be like he used to send down like whizzing fast slap shots, you know? They would like pass him the puck up at the top of the crease and he would just whack it to the back of the net, you know? And he hasn't been doing that, you know? Or he's been missing a lot too, or just not been sending the puck into the right part of the crease, or just like not making smart decisions on the defensive end. And I just think it's time for him to get traded, you know? Especially because the Devils are in a pickle right now. We made a lot of Fitzgerald made a lot of dumb decisions. And he made a lot of no trade, no movement clauses. And he spent way too much money, so now we're capped. And we have to move people around. We had to move people around to get Kovacevic back in the line. So that's why Dougie Hamilton sat and why he's hopefully going to be traded. Because we need to free up like a few $million. Like, we need to free up a couple millions to get Kovacevic back in the line. And I think getting rid of Dougie Hamilton is what has to happen. It's just the best thing to do because he'll get picked up at another team is a thing. Like, some of the players on the Devils, they just wouldn't get picked up on other teams. Like, they would just get ignored. Like, they would just, like, how the Redbulls are trying to trade Wiki Carmona, I'm sure, and, like, teams are just like, nah, this guy stinks, we don't want him, you can keep him, you know? So I think Kovacevic, oh my gosh, Dougie Hamilton, he's not bad enough to where no one's going to want him. I think he could be a very decent second or third line defenseman for another team. You know, I think he'll be all right. He'll be all right on another team. His prime, he's out of his prime. He used to be real good. He used to be a solid defenseman, dependable for the Devils. Now he's not. It's time we part ways from him. You know? It really is. And I think it's a necessity at this point because something needs to change in this Devils team. Something needs to change in the team because we've been way too bored on the ice, man. There's no heart in this team right now. And it's so disappointing to watch. It's so disappointing to watch because of how we started to now. It's the same players. It's the same players. But we're just worlds worse right now. And we're losing teams we should be beating. The Jets, we should have smoked them. We didn't. We lost 4-3. Granted, the goal that called back was goalie interference, which the goalie was out of the crease, and Paul Cotter clearly tried to get out of the way. So I think that should have been counted as a goal, but whatever. You move on. Actually, Kovacevic did get an assist on that goal. So he would have gotten an assist in his first game back. But point being, something needs to change. I thought getting Jack Hughes back was going to spark the team. It didn't. I thought Brett Pesce coming back was going to spark the team. It didn't. I think Kovacevic will bring a spark. Simone Nemec, too. He came back. Simone Nemec is... He's a good player. I like Simone Nemec. He's a strong player. Reliable, Reliable. But, you watch the game and you don't see any physicality. The Devils are not showing any physicality on the ice. They're not getting those dirty, greasy goals in front of the net like they used to. They're not finishing their checks. They're not contesting every puck in the defensive zone. They're letting guys just tee it up from the top of the defensive zone, and it's just it doesn't feel the same. Like when I'm watching the games, I just don't have that feeling of we can come back from this from when we did in the beginning of the season. Like watching the beginning of the season, I felt hopeful. We'd be down some games, but I always felt that we could come back. I always felt we can rally against this. We can score a few goals, get the momentum in our favor, and then win, or at least take it to overtime. And now it's like the other teams will score in the first 5 minutes, and then from there it's just we're chasing the game, and it feels hopeless right from the start. It's like, and it's nothing. It's not something I can point out specifically too. It's just the team as a whole doesn't want to win, We get blown out by the Islanders. Blown out. 9-0. 9-0. Embarrassing, too. Embarrassing loss against a rival, And what do we do in response to that? Nothing. We lose another game. And after Timo Meier and Nico Hischier saying, we're going to have a big response from this game, and then losing the next game. In a disgusting fashion, too. It wasn't even close that next game. It was honestly disgusting. And then Jake Allen saying he's going to be better and he just wasn't. Who's going to step up? Who's gonna be the guy that takes the team on his back and sparks us? Brendan Dillon, drop the gloves, maybe? Lay some big hits? Siegenthaler start getting in the crease a little bit? Brett Pesce, get in the crease. Connor Brown, start getting some greasy goals again. Timo Meier, you're a big guy. Start throwing your body around. Start finishing your checks. Can Jack Hughes score again, please? Can Luke Hughes start producing a little bit? He had 2 assists in the last game, but he had 1 good game. He's coming off that 2 own goals from there. A 9-0 loss. It's someone has to step up. We're not going to sign anybody. It's been pretty clear from the start that Fitz ain't going to sign anyone new. He can't. He has no room. He did it to himself. And what makes it even worse is his job is secure for the rest of the season. It was announced today. Fitzy is staying to the end of the season where he'll be reevaluated and fired. Hopefully, because we need a new manager. We need someone else. I don't think it's Patrick O'Keefe's fault, too. I think he's doing the best he can with what he's got right now. Granted, he's made some questionable decisions come game time. Some plays that were run just didn't look good. The dump-ins haven't been working the same. We'll dump it in and then we just won't be able to sustain pressure in the offensive zone. We'll have a little surge and then lose. Because, the Devils, what I've realized with the Devils is that they're clearly a second half team. They never come out smoking. You know what I mean? Like, they never come out hot. It always takes them a while to get into the game. Also, to be fair, they haven't had a home game in a little while. So I think losing on the road hurts a lot more because you don't have your fans there to back you up. You know? Like, losing on the road, I think it hurts a lot more because you hear it from the other team when they score. As a player, like an not ex-athlete, but when I was playing, the other team would score. You hear all their, if we're away, obviously there'd be more parents or fans for the other team, and like if the other team would score, I remember I would feel, especially as a goalie, feel 10 times worse than if they score at home because, to be fair, whenever we were home, my friend Matt, his dad, he would bring like a flag and like horns. So whenever the team was kind of getting down, he would like toot the horn or wave the flag around. Or like his mom would start shouting like, "Yo, come on, boys!" Man, I miss playing so much. Gosh, man, I wish I can go back to those times. Damn. Well, on that note, gonna go to a quick break here. When we come back, we're gonna start talking about the Knicks. Quickly talk about the Knicks. Move on to the playoffs that occurred last night and Saturday night, and the game Texans-Steelers tonight. We'll move on to the Giants, then Yankees, and the new ball strike challenge system that's being implemented. Don't go anywhere. If you want to call in, the number is 973-655-4256. If you want to watch live, it is on my Instagram. If you guys would like to support all podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, if you would like. You don't have to. If you would like to do it, it is out there and available. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back. This is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Lifting the Trophy with your host, Connor Nassau, where we talk everything New York sports and the New Jersey Devils. In the break, I did have someone call in, so we're going to bring him on right now. Hello?
Yeah, hello there.
How you doing?
Doing good now.
Awesome.
You?
Doing good.
Yeah.
So, in the break, you kind of told me your topic you want to talk about. Do you want to tell everyone what you want to discuss?
Yeah. All right. Basically, I was watching the games, and not, on any time, but this past week, and all, a lot of teams played. But not for the championship or any, looking for their division and everything like that. But there is some speculation out there about who wants to be, let's say, brought on board for a interview kind of thing. But that's my best calculation on that. And one of those people who they mentioned is the Harbaugh.
Yeah, John Harbaugh.
John, yeah, the whole family used to run through that list.
Yeah,
they got they got along. Yes, so my feeling is do you think he's good enough at this point to take the rotten status of the Giants right now and build it strong? And there were some terrific runners and catches by the Giants people, but it turned out that it was called back. It was called back. You were, hurting the quarterback or whatever devices they were using. But I think they should get somebody who knows how to build a team.
100%, yeah. I think John Harbaugh definitely does. He definitely knows how to build a team. I mean, he's been with the Ravens for, I forgot how many years it was, but he's been a very good coach over there, and I feel like he's great developing talent.
So young then.
Yeah. But I do think he's definitely the front runner for the Giants right now. And I think, honestly, he'll definitely take the job because if you look around the league of who needs coaches, Giants have the best chances. We have the brightest future, We have Jackson Dart, who he definitely likes. I heard that he was watching film on Jackson Dart the other day. And then we have obviously Cam Scadaboo, Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson. We have a 5th-round draft pick too.
There were people going around hoping to see him come in because of all the people he's surrounded with now, but they're out hurt or they're being held out of action so that they don't hurt. What's his name? Cart.
Oh, Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
he, not him. The young man, Cart.
Carter.
Was him? Yeah. No, that's the same one you talked about. Oh, okay.
Oh,
With this, okay. So, as soon as you get a chance to interview them, did they give you any short list of names and how would they be fit into this mix?
I think there's definitely a few there's definitely other coaches that they're looking at. McCarthy, Antonio Pierce, they're looking John Gruden, Stefanski, who are all decent coaches. I think if it's not Harbaugh, it's gonna be Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. He's won, he's developed players really nicely. But I do think that Harbaugh just has a great football mind. He's also an offensive coach too. Because for all the viewers out there who don't know, there's like defensive coaches and there's offensive coaches. Like which one they kind of prioritize. And Harbaugh is definitely an offensive coach, which I think will definitely benefit the Giants and he'll fit the system,
Right.
Especially with Jackson Dart too. He has so much material to craft a team into essentially however he wants,
Right. But right now it looks like these guys are on the line on offense are so itchy to get their thing done that they're sometimes ready to take that fake out at the line, the 5 yards, and so forth and so on. And it's just sad that they even had to stop so many times. The game ran and it was boring as hell. And I wish I would have just turned it off, but
you can't. I get it. You're invested in it. You want to see them win, even though they were never gonna.
They were never gonna. You're right. Close to that.
Yeah.
But that's it. I don't want to keep this locked up. So.
I know how good. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah.
All right.
Some time. All right.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So, that was a caller. He definitely brought up some good points, I think Harbaugh. Oh, my gosh. Why can't I speak all of a sudden? I think he's definitely the coach to go for, He's got a great record with them, with the Ravens, Obviously, Lamar Jackson kind of brought him up, made him into a great quarterback, had a good run with them, had a great run with Baltimore, and I feel like he could bring a lot of those strategies over to the Giants, and I think it'll fit our play style or the play style he's trying to create really well, Because if you think about it, right, let's pretend that this is kind of like, I don't know, a chessboard, right? You have so many pieces, the game can go either way. You can kind of craft the game into whatever you want. And the more pieces you have, the more ways you can win the game, Like say, okay, you start off with all your pieces in the beginning of next season, right? Obviously, the goal is to keep all your pieces, whether it's football or it's chess. But you could craft your style. You can craft how you want to play it. You can craft how you want to go about the season, the game, and specifically too. Maybe that wasn't the best analogy, I'm not going to lie. But the point I'm trying to make is he will have so many weapons at his disposal here and so many opportunities to make this team into something that he wants to make it into. Not necessarily what Brian Dable was trying to get it into or whatever Mike Kafka was doing over there. He wasn't doing much, but whatever he was doing wasn't working, obviously. But he'll be able to start new. He'll be able to come into a team where we want him. The Giants want him, And there's no hiding that. The Giants clearly want Harbaugh, and all the fans want him. It's been talked about all over New York sports right now. I mean, you tune in anywhere, all it is Harbaugh. Where's he gonna go? Who's he gonna settle down with? Because this will probably be a long-term deal if we do sign him. My guess is like 3 or 4 years. Which we should, because he's a proven coach. He's definitely got a experience on his side, got knowledge and wisdom on his side because he's been through it. He's done it. He's done it all. He's been through the highs and the lows of Baltimore, and I feel like he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna fit it so well. Like I mean, I really can't say much more than that. I think he would just fit the team so well. Like with what we have right now, with the pieces we have right now, I feel like it's just gonna work. It's just the best. It really is just like I was talking last week. I was riding the horse of Antonio Pierce because I wanted a legacy. I wanted a Giants player back. That's my whole, like I was talking about before with the loyalty thing. I wanted a Giants player as a coach. That would have been awesome to me. That would have been like, yeah, buddy. But like if I putting it'd be really cool to have a Giants player as a coach away, and thinking about it objectively from a want-to-win standpoint, Harbaugh gives us the best chance. He just does. Like, it's like when picking a quarterback. What's going to give you the best chance to win? In this case, it's Harbaugh. And I feel confident in saying that. Like, I feel like I'll be backed up by a lot of Giants fans out here. And not like even like Jets fans, too, because I know they're looking for a coach. They're not going to get Harbaugh, though. They're going to get some second and third string guy, probably. But I think the Jets have a lot more gaps to fill than the Giants. I feel like the Jets have a lot more to do till they're really going to be a decent team again. I think it all starts off with a new coach, and a quarterback, just like how any new team is going to rebuild. It's going to start off with a coach and a quarterback, and then you kind of build from there. You kind of work your way up. You keep adding pieces like the Giants did, We thought Danny Dimes, thought Daniel Jones was going to be the man. He wasn't. He went to the Colts. He actually did pretty well there. I got to give it to him. He played pretty well there. But I also think it was a situational thing. And then I told you so, he got hurt. It's Daniel Jones, injury prone. Like most athletes nowadays, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like when I see the Giants draft a player, I don't really get my hopes up too much. Cause I'm like, knowing us, he's going to get hurt. Giants fans can't have anything. Neither can Jets fans. Like we can't have anything. Philly fans, I thought Philly fans have been doing good recently. Not last night though. Oh, not last night, I'll tell you that. You guys got smoked. What happened, Eagles fans? What happened, huh? I thought you guys were a dynasty. I thought you guys were going to go back to back. What happened to that? Jalen Hurts, oh my gosh. Well, he was not playing good last night, man. That last play, I really in my gut, I thought that he was going to complete that pass and they were going to score and win and move on and beat the Niners. I really did. But it was a horrific pass. Like, what was the play call on that? He had to throw it to the only dude that has 3 defenders around him. Like, what? What was he thinking? Like, oh my, and he had so much time in the pocket all night. All night he had so much time in the pocket. The 49ers defensive line was not putting any pressure on him. I don't think they sacked him once. Granted, I don't think I didn't watch the full game. I listened to some of it, but and obviously I watched near the end of it. But I don't think they sacked him once. So he had a lot of time in the pocket. Saquon Barkley played all right. Once I saw him go down though, I thought he was actually injured. Saquon Barkley's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. So when he's down and he gets hurt, it's usually pretty bad. There's some people out there I'll just say it, soccer players. They kind of overreact to get the foul. Same with basketball players too sometimes too. Look at LeBron James falling down over getting blown in the forehead. Someone blows on his fingertip and oh my gosh, call the foul, give me free throws. It's yeah, I get it. Free throws is just easy points. But soccer players are obviously notorious for that. But honestly, I think it's gotten better in the past. But yeah, Eagles fans, man, dude, even the tush push wasn't working for you that much last night. What happened? All right, I'll stop. Actually, one more. You're out of the playoffs. That's what you honestly. No, I gotta take a second. I gotta take this microphone to air out some frustration too. I saw a video of Eagles fans throwing cans of drinks out at 49ers fans as they were entering the stadium. That just that angered me. That really Like that just like all my friends like who are Eagles fans like no, the fan base has gotten better, we've gotten like less crude, less harsh on the other opponents. Because I'm all for trash talking, I'm all for beating your chest to other teams. I do it all the time, doing it right now, kinda. Right, I'm all for that. But when you start throwing drinks at people as they're walking into the stadium and laughing in their face, that's just wrong, man. Like that's like it's not cool. Like it's really it's I don't know. It just left such a bad taste in my mouth, and it honestly just went back to they haven't changed, most of them, and obviously a few fans do not represent the entire fan base. I know that. I'm not gonna say you're trying to be delusional because there's plenty of Eagles fans who are nice people. I've met plenty of Eagles fans who are nice. I have plenty of friends, good close friends who are Eagles fans, and believe me, we banter, we bicker back and forth, but like at the end of the day, they're nice people. So I don't know. I had to air that out though. I had to get that frustration. Yeah. Moving on, we're gonna go over keeping it on the topic of NFL. We're gonna go over the playoff games, who won, who lost, all that from last night, from the weekend, and then I'll go over the Texans Steelers game. So the Bills beat the Jaguars 27-24. I really wanted the Jaguars to win, man. I really wanted them to win. Like I wanted to see it happen. I wanted to see Trevor Lawrence, take his team there because they're good this year, man. They're real good, and they almost did it. That was a good game. That was a really good game. Patriots beat the Chargers. That was a snooze fest last night. I watched a little bit of it. I'm like, all right, this game isn't going anywhere. Like this game was. I was pretty bored throughout it. I watched most of it, but like near the end, I'm like, I'm just gonna go watch some movies in my room. Yeah, that was a snooze fest last night. Like the whole time, you knew the Patriots are gonna win. The Rams beat the Panthers. I wanted the Panthers to win against the Rams, man. I was at a restaurant with my family, listening to some live music, and we were watching the Panthers Rams game, and like it was close, man. That was a really good game, a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And I wanted the Panthers to be the upset. I wanted them to upset the Rams, and I wanted to see them go far too. I wanted to see it. Didn't happen, obviously. They lost by a field goal, which like always stinks, Like by a touchdown. All right, touchdowns are hard to score. Field goals, I feel like field goals can be made from like anywhere on the field right now, man. And then just keep getting further and further. Like you look in the Giants-Dallas game, we lost from a 66-yard field goal. Dude, that's like granted Dallas they had one of the best kicker in the league probably. I think. Was he the best? I think he might have been the best. Like the best completion percentage. But like yeah, field goals can be made from like anywhere nowadays. Like you get over midfield and it's like, yeah, you can score a field goal, which is crazy to me. It's just like, I don't know. It's just so crazy to me because I can't do that. You know what I mean? You see like on the Pat McCaffrey show, like on the college football Saturday mornings, where like he'll do like, if you make this field goal, you'll win $1 million. And these college kids are just shanking it left and right, like getting nowhere near the field goal because it's hard. Like field goals are clearly hard. You see it like clearly, like especially when it's windy out. Dude, when it's windy out, oh God bless them. But clearly hard to make with the Giants. But my mom always tells me, she's like, they have one job. How do they mess it up? I'm like, you know what? You're right. They literally have one job. How do they mess it up? Like situations don't really change besides like maybe wind and how far away you are. So okay, yes, situations obviously do vary, but like I don't know. I feel like there's some like from a certain range it should be automatic. 30-40 yard range, it should be automatic. It really should. Extra points should be automatic because that's what you practice. You practice extra points like there's no tomorrow. Like, what else do you practice as a kicker besides kicking it? Like, you're not running sprints. You're not practicing tackling. Like, maybe you have, like, one practice on, I don't know, how to throw a football because you might have a trick play they might use one time. I don't know. Like, besides that, you're just practicing kicking. Like, I don't know. There's nothing really else to it. But moving on, Niners beat the Eagles. I want the Niners to win it all now. They're not gonna, but I want the Niners to win it all. I want to see them go, especially because my neighbor down the road is a Niners fan. So that's I want to see that happen. I like the Niners. They're injury riddled right now, especially with the tight end, whatever his name was. Horrible, man. Early into the game, tearing his Achilles. You never want to see that happen, dude. You never want to see that happen, especially, Giants fans. We know this. We've seen it happen too many times. But I want to see the Niners go all the way because I feel like it's definitely an underdog story. And you never know when it comes to playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoffs. That's what's great about the playoffs. Anything can happen. And then lastly, the Bears beat the Packers. Great comeback. I always thought the Bears were gonna win. But I did not expect it to be a comeback story for the Bears. So I will not lie. I thought it was gonna be Bears dominating the Packers. It was a 1-7 game. Sorry, first seed, 7th seed. So I think that's what it was. Were the Packers 7th seed? I don't remember. It might have been like 5th. I don't really know. No, because Panthers, Rams were 4-5. Maybe they're 6. I don't know. It might have been 6-7. 6-7. Oh, I gotta stop. Someone's got to take this microphone away from me. But yeah, I want to see them go all the way. I don't think they will, but I want to see them go all the way. And tonight we have Texans, Saints, Steelers. What am I talking about? Saints are horrible this year. Texans, Steelers. I got the Texans winning this. I was talking with my friend Anthony. He thinks the Texans are going to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're making it that far, but I think they will make it out of the first round because I think the Steelers' offense isn't that automatic, for how good the Texans' defense is. Because the Texans' defense carries them. The defense carries. Nothing wrong with that. They're a defensive team, But I think they're gonna shut down the Steelers. I think it's gonna be a 1-score game because I think it's gonna be low scoring. But I think Texans shut down the Steelers, and it's gonna be something. It's either gonna be like a blowout game or a super close nail biter. Because it just depends how they show up tonight. Monday Night Football. Oh, a crazy stat though. The Steelers have not lost a Monday night game at home since 1991. That's a crazy statistic for y'all. Yeah, I know. I know everyone listening right now is like, that can't be true. It is. Look it up. Google it. Might not be 91. Might not be 91. I think it is though. I don't know. I heard it this morning. So I'm recalling information from this morning. All right. But yeah, that's the games going on. The game that just happened this weekend and the game going on tonight. Obviously we had the Broncos and the Seahawks have a bye week, so they'll be going up next week. I don't think the Seahawks are winning next week. I think they're kind of a joke. Same with the Broncos. I think the schedule impacted them a lot. I think it helps them a lot too. So I don't think Broncos or Seahawks. I think both of them will be upset. Also, by the way, I got to give myself credit because I called the Niners beating the Eagles. I said they had something to prove. And they did. So yeah, I got to toot my own horn on that one. All right, going to a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to be talking about the Yankees and the ball strike challenge system that's being implemented into the MLB. If you would like to call in, the call-in number is 973-655-4256, 973-655-4256. Also, if you want to, I brought up a topic before about more teams in Jersey, and if you would leave the team you're supporting now to support a Jersey team. If you'd like to talk about that too, be my guest. I'm really curious on what you guys think. But don't go anywhere. This is Lifting the Trophy. We'll be right back. And we are back from that little break right there. A little bit of a longer break because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be able to talk about baseball for 30 minutes because guess what? The Yankees aren't giving me anything to talk about. Like, I don't understand why no moves are being made still. Because here's the thing. Right now it's a lot with Cody Bellinger, and Cody Bellinger's asking 7 years, $35 million a year. I think that goes out to $165 million total. I think something like that. I don't know. He's not gonna get 7 years. He's old. He's 31. So I don't think he's making that. Honestly. All right, we got a caller right now. I'm gonna bring him on the show real quick. Hello.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
This is James, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. What's up?
I wanted to talk about the what's it called?
the ball strike challenge
Yeah.
system.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
dude, it's like I think it's just gonna ruin the game
Why?
because like I feel like they're just like doing too much, you know?
Doing too much.
Like-
You know the amount of times that umpires mess up calls?
Yeah, but that's the game, you know?
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, here's the way it's working. They only have 2 challenges, right? If you obviously challenge right, they get to keep the challenge. But if they get it wrong, they lose the challenge.
Yeah.
So, and like, listen, if it's a blatantly missed, like, if it's a ball that was called a strike and it's, like, down in the dirt, wouldn't you want the umpire to get the right call?
Yes. Like some scenarios, yeah, it would make sense. But like, I don't know.
Listen,
You know?
I see what you're saying, though. Like, I do think there's something to be said about having an aspect of the game where human flaw is a part of it. And I like that because, believe me, you know, we get away with, as a Yankee fan, you know, we get away with some things that other teams might not, you know, because we're a bigger name, bigger market. So I do think that having an umpire behind the plate has to stay. Like, there's no way they're going to get rid of umpires and make it all automated. That would be horrible. I hate that. That would never happen. Because then, like, you lose, like, the framing from the catchers and whatnot and, like, you know, trying to get players to swing at balls in the dirt, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, and also like with like on your side, like, you know, they start arguing with umps after bad calls, and then, you know, they get thrown out of the game.
Yeah, I love that. I like that part of baseball. I'm not gonna lie. When you see like players really mad at the umpires, I like that.
Mhm.
But I do think it's a necessary thing because like it's not like they're gonna be doing it after every bad call. You know, like they have to be strategic with when they use it. So I do think it'll be a great thing to bring to the game because like there's so many times where players have wrongfully gotten struck out and it's changed the effect of the game. You know.
Yeah.
And especially like when the Yankees were in the World Series, they had very hitter friendly umpires. So that obviously went for us and went against us because some of the strikes are being called balls and some of the balls are being called strikes for both sides. Or some of the strikes are being called the balls because that's what a hitter friendly umpire is. But having that kind of effect on a game, I think is yes important, but I think it needs to go down because the umpires can affect the game so much. You know.
Yeah.
So I think having a challenge system to hold them accountable, you know, is important.
Mhm.
You know, you're a baseball player, so like, put yourself in those shoes, right? Like, I'm sure you've struck out before where you knew it wasn't a strike. Wouldn't you want to challenge it?
Yeah.
See?
Mhm.
So yeah, I think overall it's gonna be a positive thing. And I mean, like, people were totally against a pitch clock, but look how much it's benefited games.
Yeah, and also, like, weren't there like things about like going around saying that they were gonna like completely wipe out umpires and just use AI?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't think that's happening. I don't think there's any way that umpires are fully going to get taken out of the game. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because you have to regulate the game, you know? Like, you have to have someone back there regulating the game. You know, wiping the plate off, calling safe or out, you know, or handling players if things start to get chippy. Someone gets hit by, or like if a pitcher purposefully hits a batter with a pitch, you gotta throw them out, you know.
Yeah.
Same thing with coaches too. You have to hold the managers accountable. Lord knows Aaron Boone is hot-headed to the extreme, so having an umpire there to throw him out is necessary, you know.
Yeah.
And I do like to blame the umpires on stuff too, you know, because like it makes you feel better as a fan. Like, yeah, the umpire ruined that game for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
One more thing.
All right.
How do you think like the umps are gonna feel about the challenging of the calls?
I think it'll definitely be mixed. I think the modest umpires will be like, yeah, call me out if I'm wrong so I can be a better umpire. But I think some umpires are like old and stuck in their ways of them always being right. Because you see, like, I remember it was one game last year where the umpire blatantly missed a call. It was the Yankees game. The umpire missed a call, and he's like, yeah, I missed that. That's my bad. I feel like those kinds of umpires would be like, yeah, if I miss a call, I want the game to be called fairly. But I think other umpires, like, no, the game's going to be run how I want the game to be run.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not losing their jobs by any means. You know what I mean? They're still gonna be in high demand,
Mhm.
and they're still gonna be argued with, and there's still gonna be the heat of baseball manager umpire rivalries that we all love.
Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate you calling in, dude.
No problem.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So yeah, that was the ball strike challenge system that I mentioned a little bit before. And yeah, that's James, my girlfriend's little brother, and he's a really good baseball player. So I was interested in what he was thinking of it, because I played Little League for like a year or two, and I just watch baseball now. So I'm obviously speaking from a viewer perspective. I would like the ball strike challenge system, because I just think that you need to. If a strike is a strike, it should be called a strike. If a ball is a ball, it should be called a ball. You know, and granted, there's gonna be times where it goes for me or against me, but it's got to go both ways. You know, it's got, like, if you're fine with it being for you, you gotta be fine with it being against you. You know, you can't have it just so it benefits you. And I think there's gonna be a lot of issues with it. You know, I think there's gonna be a lot of technological advancements throughout the years too to make it more accurate and whatnot. But I'm excited to see how it's taken by the players. I'm excited to see how it affects games. So I feel like it adds another layer to the sport. You know, it definitely adds kind of like a safety net almost. You know, it adds a way for players to kind of hold the umpires accountable too. You know, because there's a lot of times where it's umpires' way or the highway. You know, and I don't really like that. I feel like there should be some kind of fact check. You see that in all other sports. All those sports have that. You know, granted, there's not like the volume of the volume of calls that an umpire has to make is substantially more than, like, say a hockey referee, right, or a soccer referee. They might make, like, soccer referee 10 calls a game, 15, you know, NHL even less, maybe 5, you know. Umpires, every single pitch they dictate. Obviously, I mean, okay, I guess they don't really dictate it, but like they confirm or deny the ball or the strike is essentially what I'm trying to say. So it's obviously way more room for error, and I feel like there's times that an umpire's just gonna be off his game. We're human. I don't blame them. You know, players have off days. Umpires, I'm sure, have off days too. And I feel like that'll kind of be a tool for the umpire sometimes, honestly. I mean, obviously, the umpire can't challenge it himself, you know, but, like, if the umpire really messes up and it's pretty obvious, you challenge it. And it's like, all right, yeah, my bad. Because, like, and the thing is, too, I think it might help with the coaching umpire arguments, you know, because if the umpire, right, makes a one call and then it's challenged and it's overturned and there's clear evidence that they're wrong, you can't say anything to that. Like, you can't go and be like, actually, no, your eyes are wrong. Like, you're seeing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like, if an umpire is blatantly just proved wrong, yeah, I feel like most umpires are going to be like, you know what, you were right, I was wrong, my bad, I'll try and be better for the next one, you know? And it's hard. It's hard being an umpire. From what I can tell, obviously, I've never been an umpire before. But, like, the ball is moving like 100 miles per hour. It's really, really fast, you know, and you got to make just like the batters, you have to make a split-second decision, you know, and call it instantly, you know? Like, you can't really, I mean, okay, I guess you can take a second to think, okay, what did I just see? But usually, it's like an instant thing, like, ball hits the glove, strike. Ball hits the glove, ball. You know, it's not like a 2 to 3 second, let me take a breather here. Let me review this in my head. You know, let me take a little sip of water, brain break. Let me just kind of go back on my mental replay and think about what just happened. No, it's an instant thing. It's a gut thing. I'll put it that way, right? Kind of like with baseball players. Like, some of my friends who are baseball players I've talked to, like, some of them have said, like, it's kind of an instincts thing. You know, like, you don't always, like, they told me that they don't always think about every pitch that's coming to him. It's kind of like, does it feel like it's in the zone or does it feel like it's out of the zone? Or like, is this ball moving or is it not moving? It's like, obviously you can try and predict what's coming next. Like if you're in a 3-0 count, yeah, obviously it's going to be a heater right down the middle. You know what I mean? Like a pitcher's not going to throw a fourth ball in a row. That's not going to happen. But like when you're in the batter's box, from what they've told me, because obviously I haven't played baseball in ages, it's more of like a gut thing. It's like a instincts in the moment. What does it look like in front of me? I can't talk about this with soccer. Obviously a lot different. Like positioning, being a goalie, is a lot of what goalkeeping is how you're positioned. And like reading the play before it happens. But like these point blank plays, it's all about reactions, gut instinct. Reading their hips. I guess you can kind of, as a batter, you can see like the way the arm is coming, like how his arm is moving. Like if it's coming to the side, obviously, it might have a little more movement on it if it's coming like straight down, And you have like those weird ones that they're like the sidearm pitches, like Tim Hill, how he does it. Those kind of pitches freak me out, man. Like the way they kind of like bend all the way to the side and like essentially they're kind of like flinging it like they're trying to skip stones on a pond. That's impressive to me. I remember when I was playing like Wii baseball, I figured out how to do that. I would like hold down like A and B on the little like remote joystick thingy, and then like if you do that, like you throw it sidearm. I remember it would like throw my brother off, and he would get so mad at me, and I was like, oh, I know. I remember when we were playing Wii baseball with my brother too. Like I would throw the pitch, and as soon as he about to swing, I'd hit pause, so he would like swing, it wouldn't go through, and then I hit unpause and like get a strike or something. And it was like he would get so mad. It was so funny. Those were the days. The Wii, it was such a great game console too. My friend Andrew has it right now in our dorm. We play like Mario Party or like what are those, like Mario Kart. I think we played like Donkey Kong one time too on the Wii. We set up in the lounge. That's fun. I love the Wii. The Wii U I really like too. We had the Wii U for a while. Oh, Skylanders, dude. I used to go crazy in Skylanders. That and like Lego Batman, dude. Don't even come at me with Lego Batman. I remember I thought like I went to GameStop one time. I'm like, is there a Star Wars Battlefront for the Wii U? And the guy looked at me like I had 3 heads, and he's like, nah, bro, it's a Wii U. Like there's no like what? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, Star Wars Battlefront, great game. They just came out with a new Star Wars game, which is pretty cool too. I might try and get that. I might try and yoink that one. It's gonna be expensive though for sure. But I'm taking my PS4 up to my dorm come the spring semester. Cause I'm trying to play more Fortnite up here, trying to become a pro Fortnite player, totally. oh my gosh! I was about to start. Whoa! I was about to say, all right, going back to the Yankees now, but I don't know what happened there. Like came up the wrong pipe. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, we're going to the Yankees now. Cody Bellinger. Listen. He's asking for 7 years. We're not going to give him 7 years for $35 million. Like, we're just not going to give it to him, And I think, his Scott Boras, his agent, same guy who did the Pete Alonso, trying to call the Mets bluff. Right now, he's trying to call the Yankees bluff, trying to push for the best deal he can. Which, I mean, listen, that's your agent. That's what he's supposed to do. But at a certain point, you have to realize you gotta just kind of throw the towel in. Because I would love to have Cody Bellinger back. I would love to. But not for that. That's too much. He's too inconsistent season-wise. He was good last season. He had really good last. Yeah. He was really good last season. Really dependable for a base hit. We needed more contact hitting. The Bronx Bombers. We're known for home runs. So we needed some more contact hitting. And he provided that. He provided that. But he's not going to get 7 years for $35 million. Is it like, and you know what the Yankees are doing right now? They're saying, if you can get this deal somewhere else, take it. Go ahead. Be my guest. Because they know he's not getting this anywhere else. He's not getting that somewhere. No one's taking him for 7 years. He's too old. He's too inconsistent. The Yankees are sitting over here like, yeah, go ahead, go to this other team that is offering you this much money, because they know that they're not, and we're just waiting out Cody Bellinger. Because honestly, if I'm the Yankees, enough time's being wasted. We are the only team in all of MLB who has not signed a new player. Let me say that again. We're the only team in the entire league who has not signed a new player. That's bad. Like, Cashman's really saying, yeah, no, we'll run it back. What? Like, no. Last year was not good enough. Nowhere near. We all saw it last year. We saw what happened. We saw how short the Yankees fell. We got past the Red Sox, and then the Blue Jays just owned us. I can admit it now. I can admit it now. I wouldn't admit it then, but yeah, the Blue Jays owned us. I was delusional then too. And we need new pieces. He's like, oh yeah, Spencer Jones is coming up. All right, we have another power hitter that's gonna hit home runs and possibly play the outfield or DH. And Stanton's got a DH. No, Stanton has to DH. Yeah, Stanton has to DH. But like, honestly. Okay, let me put this out there to all the listeners right now. If you would like to call in and respond to anything I say, by the way, it is 973-655-4256. Say that one more time. 973-655-4256. I'm also live on Instagram right now, too, and you can follow me on Lifting the Trophy on all podcast platforms and social medias if you would like. You do not have to, only if you would like. If I'm the Yankees right now, drop Bellinger. It's taking too much time. Baseball starts in a month. Starts in February. February 11th, I think. We need to start signing people. Too many people are gone. Sign Bo Bichette. Put him at second. Jazz left field. Put Ahmed Rosario shortstop. Drop Volpe. Put Jason Dominguez center. Judge and right. I think that's keep McMahon at third. McMahon was good. Obviously, keep him batting lower in the lineup, but he was good. Keep what's his face? Ben Rice first base or catcher, interchangeable with Austin Wells. When Ben Rice isn't playing first base, Goldschmidt could play first again. I liked him. He was a good defensive first baseman. You could trust him to scoop. Like Ben Rice, he couldn't scoop it off the ground. He couldn't really extend and go out and catch Anthony Volpe's horrific throws to him. Like Paul Goldschmidt, Anthony Volpe, I think would have 30 errors if Paul Goldschmidt was not playing first base and bailed him out the amount of times that he did. Paul Goldschmidt is good as a first baseman. Could we find someone better? Yeah, of course we can. We can find someone much better. But for the time being, I'm actually happy with what we have at first base. I think keeping Ben Rice as catcher is good. He's a big boy back there. He's like 6'1", 6'2", I think. Power hitter. He's strong. He's good at blocking the ball. So is Austin Wells. Austin Wells is good at blocking the ball too. But I think Ben Rice started off as a catcher. He started off behind the plate. So I think interchange that with Austin Wells, because they did Ahmed Rosario, Austin Wells rotation, sometimes Ben Rice last season. And it worked. Ahmed Rosario was good. I think what they did too, like certain pitchers obviously practice with certain catchers, and they kind of knew each other. Like you get you get chemistry with your catcher as a pitcher. Like who was it? Luis Hill, I think, was always with Ahmed Rosario. Was it Luis Hill? I think it might have been Schlittler. Cam Schlittler. I think it might have been him. I don't really remember which one exactly it was, but I remember one of the pitchers only pitched with Ahmed Rosario behind the plate, which is fine. I mean, listen, if it works, it works. If you have chemistry with this catcher and you guys kind of play off each other well, yeah. Because the thing is too, if a pitcher's having a bad day, your catcher's in your ear, with you, kind of telling you yo, calm down, you're all right. Here's what we want to handle this next guy. Just remember, you got this, bro. And you see it all the time, You see it all the time when pitchers are having bad days. Their catcher runs up to him, has a little mound visit, calms them down, tells them to get their head locked in. Because, if they walk two batters in a row, it's kind of all right, timeout real quick. Give me a sec, ump. challenge that. No. But and I feel like that's an important relationship to have, like your pitcher catcher relationship. Same thing with like your infield relationships and your outfield relationships. Like it takes time to, like at the end of the season, kind of just instinctually who goes for what ball. If it's shorter, is it going to be your first baseman or is it going to be your right fielder? Is it going to be your second baseman cutting over? Like infield, is it going to be the catcher? Is it going to be the third baseman? First base. Like you kind of learn, like especially with like center field. I feel like center field has to have great relationships with left and right because obviously center field can go either way to back up that fielder. Like if it's hitting the right field, he's running over there. If it's hitting the left field, he's running over there. And like if it's hitting the center field, should be his ball. And obviously he'll get back up from one of his other outfielders depending on like which side it's on. But and that too, like calling someone off. Like if you really think you got it, calling them off. Eagles also kind of get into play too. Like if you don't want someone to call you off because you want this spectacular catch, you want a highlight reel, and you collide into someone or drop the ball, I mean it's gonna take a hit on the team. It's as simple as that. 1, 2, 3. As simple as ABC. As simple as 1, 2, 3. Do re mi. 1, 2, 3. Baby, you and me. I saw MJ like a week ago. Oh, great! Or 2 weeks ago. Great show. Great show. That one was really good. I really liked watching that. I want to see more shows. They're just so expensive, man. Like, why? I'm a student. I'm broke. Granted, I just got a job as a lifeguard here. But, like, I'm broke. I don't got money to afford, like, $80, $100 tickets for Broadway shows. I can't do that. And it's like I would love to see more art. But no matter what it is, besides modern art, I just will never understand modern art. One time we were doing an exercise in class, and my teacher was like, we're going to make a piece of modern art, and then you're going to, like, create a movement piece based off of it. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So we got like a whole bunch of like tables and chairs, and like, we stacked it up in the middle, and like we like leaned some on other things, and like we incorporated like a pole or like a cylinder column in the middle of the room. And she's describing it. She's like, "Oh, I see a lot of isolation here and jackiness and very sharp movements. I see like a lot of dark colors, so it should be like I feel sad looking at this, and I feel very moved." And I'm like, dude, it's a bunch of tables and chairs. What are you getting on? Like, I was so lost. I started freestyling once that movement piece came up. Like, I just started going. I was like, hey, whatever. I'm gonna start breakdancing. Like, why not? Try and do a backflip. Dude, like me personally, I know I'm going here for acting, and it's all like artsy, and you want to be an artist, and you gotta look at things from a different perspective, and look at symbolism and emotions and stuff. I'm very much just like, dude, give me a script and let me just like do a normal play. Like, the play I'm in right now, we're literally writing it as we go. And it's going to be, like, all, like, work-based writing. I'm like, dude, what? Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And I'm really excited. But it's like, why can't I just have, like, a normal script? Or I just do, like, a normal play? Why can't we do, like, The Crucible? You know what I mean? Or, like, 12 Angry Jurors. Something, like, classic, Midsummer Jersey. I'd do Midsummer Jersey again. I was Lyle in Midsummer Jersey. That was fun. Oh, that was one of my favorite shows. Probably because I was a lead in it. But yeah, it's just too like artsy for me sometimes. Like MoMA, I'll never go to the Museum of Modern Art. I just would look around and laugh. Like, why is there a banana taped on the wall, bro? $20 to go eat it. Like, I probably shouldn't be saying this on air right now, but. Yeah. Well, that is going to conclude the 2-hour show today. This might be the last one. I'll let you guys know if my show is being continued for the spring semester. If it's not on air on the radio station, I might do one from like my dorm. I might just get a microphone and just yap for an hour or two each week. I'll still keep posting clips, keep posting the podcasts. If you'd like to follow and support me, Lifting the Trophy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Also, Instagram and TikTok. I appreciate you guys so much for listening in for these past few weeks. It's meant a lot to me. I've had a great time talking sports with you guys and all the callers who called in. I appreciate it. I gotta shout out a few people who've been listening for the past 3 weeks, like all my family, my mom, my dad, my Tony, Uncle Carmine, my grandma, my poppy. I gotta shout out my girlfriend too. She's been listening a whole bunch. My boy Anthony Ambrose, my girlfriend's family too, listened to the entire show today, so I really appreciate that. And anyone I'm forgetting, I love you guys. Yeah, thank you all so much, and go Knicks.